Welcome to Toffee TV. This is the Everton Transfer Daily, powered by Snickers Protein, who are helping fans to get excited about football during the transfer window. More on that later. But Baz, we've had some links over the weekend to us. One like the links were like really strong, considering
this time of the year.
Considering certain things that have been said in the last few days. This seems a strange one.
Joshua Zirkzee.
That's him.
Zirkzee. Well, it come right after the AGM, which Marcel Brands said the night before, we're not bringing anyone in. And the next minute, obviously, links had come out in the press, and then Fabrizio Romano, who's got quite a good name in the press, also linked that Everton are heavily into this player, so it was a bit of a surprise to see them links.
And we've also been linked with the right back at Brighton.
Tarek Lamptey, been linked with him as well. A good player, good prospect, but again, we can discuss that in a minute.
Yeah. So as we mentioned, our transfer shows are powered by Snickers Protein, and they are determined to debunk fake transfer links and boring stories to help fans enjoy the transfer window this January. Together we are launching the Snickers Protein fan line. So if you have a worry or question about Everton's transfer business, or just want to have your say, send us a video or comment with #fanline, and we could be answering your question on our next video. Just a reminder that if you do send in a video, you are giving your consent to your name and comment being featured in one of our videos coming up soon. We are going to be appearing in the Deadline Day show powered by Snickers Protein, which is live on Monday the 1st of February over on the Ball Street YouTube channel. We are back. There will be 4 hours of live action as Deadline Day unfolds. Make sure you don't miss out on that.
So Zirkzee is good prospect, really. He's not, it's one of them. I think the worry with him is, spoke to the Piv about this as well. The worry with him is he's 19. He's in and out of Bayern have used them sparingly, but he scored some goals for them, and he's looked a bright prospect. But it seems a little bit like the Moise Kean thing.
Yeah.
Whereas, and we've just let him go out, and I'd say Moise Kean's probably further along than Zirkzee in terms of what he'd done, played in the Champions League, represented his country, scored for Italy. And Zirkzee's more of a work in progress kind of thing. But saying that, he's got the physical capability, 6'4", moves quite nicely. My worry with him is, though, is if he was coming in as a backup to Dominic Calvert-Lewin, his hold-up play's not great, his touch is a little bit, back to goal play isn't brilliant. And again, he's coming in almost a little bit raw.
Do you think this is what they want, though? Not whether the link's there or not, but do you think that's more what they want? They obviously don't want Cenk Tosun. They don't want someone who is 27, 28, 29, let's say, who's sitting on the bench, because I think that creates problems of its own. Okay, you've got Moise Kean, who's probably the ideal sort of, on paper, young lad trying to find his way through. He's probably a bit more, not ambitious, but just restless to want to play. Not really. Probably thought this was the move that was going to propel him. And that has made him a little bit restless, I think, that he's not playing. Whereas this kid seems like, he's like maybe 4th choice at Bayern Munich, goes to play in another country, see that there's opportunities, Everton can work with him, get that little bit of time with him to develop him. And is younger than Dominic Calvert-Lewin, younger than Richarlison. So can, comes without the baggage of maybe what other players would come with.
Possibly. I mean, you're talking about building a younger profile in our team. Our forward players are quite young in terms of, the 23, 22, the pair of them. Cenk Tosun's obviously someone who's on his way out the door. It seems like that anyway. I think he himself wants to play more football You know, when Dom's fit, there isn't even a question of, you know, and in fact, we played Gylfi Sigurdsson up front in our last Premier League game rather than go to Cenk Tosun. So I think he is down the pecking order. And Zirkzee might be the type of player they go for. You're right, you know, someone who can come in and feel his way, knows about Everton, he's been a Finch fan before, you know, nearly joined the club a few years ago. Chose opted to go to Bayern Munich. But I just don't know with this one. Palmer allegedly very strong in the running for him.
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm not totally and utterly dismissive of it is because of Marcel Brands.
Yeah.
And you know that this is a formula, this is a profile that he likes to go after. I'm just not totally convinced he's what we need right now in terms of someone. If it was like, buy him for the next 3 or 4 years, then fine. Do you know what I mean? If he come in and it was just like no pressure on him, he's just going to build up and try to get him into the first team. That's a different thing. But if you're talking about maybe someone coming in to help out in this second half of the season, I'm just not convinced he's ready to lead the line if Dom isn't there.
Seems a strange one because it's been touted as a loan. You would wonder how many opportunities he would get, or whether it would just be a loan to have a little look at him in training and see him on a day-to-day basis, get him on the bench. Like you've just said, if they're not really looking at Cenk Tosun and trying to get Cenk Tosun out, whether that would be the backup to allow Cenk Tosun to go as well. But like you've just said, if he hasn't got really that much, I suppose you look at it both ways. If Cenk Tosun isn't offering that much, and the manager doesn't really seem certainly going forward anyway. It's I mean, I don't see that there's enough in him as a player to come in and really be a proper backup.
Would he not block the path of, say, Ellis Sims? They're both at the same age. I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, before anyone says he's miles better than Ellis Sims, I'm not saying he is or he isn't. I just mean Ellis Sims is a 19-year-old striker who's already here. So, but Everton might be looking, for all we know, Everton are looking and going, well, if we get Tosun off the books, that's 80, 90 grand a week gone. And we can have a look at this young striker for the next, like you say, 4 or 5 months and make a decision in the summer. Rather than going, well, let's go and get Josh King, for argument's sake, who's another player who's, you know, being mentioned again over the weekend. Apparently, he wants 120 grand a week, and it's stopping not just Everton, it's West Ham have moved away from him and Villa as well, because his wages are too high. So maybe Everton would look and go, well, if we could get this kid for much, you know, a fraction of that price, and we can have a look at him, and then he's just there in case we need him, then maybe. But just at the minute, it just seems a little bit unlikely. But you never know. With it being a loan, you never know, because that might appeal to Everton and Marcel Brands till the end of the season. Yeah,
or they might just be using us to smoke out other teams.
Well, Palmer, like you said, Palmer appeared to have quite strong links to him as well. So maybe Italy will be somewhere where he'll go and try his luck.
And we've also been linked with Lamptey at Brighton, which is a strange one because he's just signed a new contract. Obviously very talented right wing back. Oddly, he's come to the attention of a lot of teams this year, which is strange because he was at Chelsea and you'd think they would already know about him. But he's just signed a new contract, but that doesn't seem to be putting teams off who Brighton obviously have protected their end of the deal. Obviously Brighton will come out and say, they're not interested in selling and all the other stuff, but by giving him a new contract, they have done what's right for him as a player and done what's right for them. Certainly Everton are in the market for a right back.
They are. He's more of a right wing back though than a right back. He's an attacking, very, very attacking player. Very quick. Looks a really good prospect. Like you say, he was at Chelsea. Didn't do anything for them in terms of getting himself in the team on a regular basis. When you look at Reece James there, he's over 6 foot powerhouse who's quick. Where Lamptey's only 5.5 feet. Probably in his boots. But he's quite quick. And he's an exciting wide fullback, but like you say, he's more suited to Brighton playing 3 at the back, and he's a wing back. So defensively, I don't think he's brilliant defensively, but we know he's very good going forward. And Brighton are doing what they should be doing, which is protecting their asset. They got a player probably wasn't on a great contract because he'd just come from Chelsea and it was like, you've got to prove yourself. And he's done really well this season, so they're probably thinking, well, if we get him tied down to a new deal, you're talking maybe 30 million for him or something now, which potentially, you know, obviously I don't know the terms of what his first deal was, but maybe there was something in that he could go for less, I don't know. But it's definitely the area where Everton are looking, there's no question about it. I mean,
that would definitely be something, though, you would imagine would be the summer rather than now, wouldn't it? It would be, say, just from Brighton. I mean, talking about saving face, they've just got a lad on a new contract, and they're not going to be like ready to sell straight away. So I think that could, if Everton were looking, which they are looking for a right back, that could come certainly in the summer. But John Joe Kenny is one that obviously Burnley are sniffing around. 7 million's been mentioned. They've just had the takeover as well. They'll be looking. After they've just been beaten again at the weekend, they'll be certainly looking to strengthen as fast as possible because new owners come in and they're looking at Burnley and thinking, well, we've got to be in the Premier League, and that's the only thing that matters. And this is the time now where, because let's be honest, he's done wonders there. They've not last summer, didn't bring anyone in. They lost a couple going out on free transfers, and he'll want to strengthen now. And John Joe Kenny's a ready-made Premier League player, can go in there, knows the Premier League, has worked with a manager, played in Germany, worked with a manager like Carlo Ancelotti. I think he would be perfect for them, and if they could get that done in the next couple of weeks, then I think that'd be brilliant for them.
Yeah, he'd be a good signing for Dyche. Obviously, everything's very simple with Sean Dyche. Makes it easy for players to know what the job is. I think that suits John Joe, definitely. I think Burnley need a fresh face in there. Like you say, they were unable to bring any in the summer. So they need someone through the door just to convince all the other players that they're still trying to move forward. I think if you stand still too long in the Premier League, you do find yourself struggling to stay in there. And I think other players then start to lose interest because it's like, well, what are we actually trying to achieve? We're just trying to fight to stay 17th. When, a few years ago, they qualified for Europe. Don't forget, they had that great season. And they've never been able to reproduce it. And they were unlikely to reproduce it if they don't bring new players in, because you've got to keep turning players over, and they've not been able to do that. So I think Kenny going in there will give them a little bit of a boost, definitely. And from an Everton perspective of selling them, we're looking at, I think you're right with it's a summer transfer, someone like Lamptey, for any club, and for Brighton, like you say. For Everton, for me, it makes absolutely zero sense to go and try and get a right back in now. Yeah. Because I'd rather them really take the time over who they want than maybe panicking, because it's a key position now. And also, we've got Mason Holgate, who for me at the moment is Everton's number one right back. I think he's overtaken Seamus. I think Seamus has got a job to do to get himself back in there and prove that he deserves to play. So therefore, that negates the need for me for Everton to panic. Not that they would, and Marcel Brands has said this anyway, that it's more likely to be summer planning now, but it'll give Everton the opportunity to spend the next few months looking at who they really want.
Yeah, there you go. Listen, we'll be here every day in the next couple of weeks, leading up to transfer deadline day in a couple of weeks, where we're Ball Street. I'll be doing a 4-hour transfer day special. We'll be getting involved in that as well. Don't forget, get your questions in, get your comments in, get your videos in using the hashtag #FanLine. If you want to get involved with everything going on, there you go. Check out all the details in the description. Thanks for watching Toffee TV, and we'll see you later.